So, you need to be very, very quiet and be looking with your eyes beautifully. We do not want to hear a sound. If you're asked to stand, you stand quietly. Make sure that you're facing this way. Legs folded, arms crossed, shoulder blades down and shake them.
Tahirua. No mai hoki mai. Welcome back to Whanau Time. Today rooms 10 and 22 are your hosts.
Today we will be playing the national anthem on the projector with sign language in the background. Please join us signing and singing the national anthem without talking. Please stand quietly.
Please be seated.
Tahirua. Next week is New Zealand Sign Language Week. New Zealand Sign Language is one of our country's 3 national languages alongside Te Reo Maori and English. Room 2 and Room 22 would now like to perform together No Mai Haere Mai by Tiki Tane, and at the end of the song we will clap in sign language like this. Please enjoy our waiata.
So at the end, instead of clapping, you're not going to clap like this, you're going to clap like this. So can everyone show me clapping? This is clapping in sign language. Perfect. Keep showing those lovely manners.
Mr. MacDonald, will you now please impress us with your knowledge and inspiration?
No pressure, eh? So, anybody guess what I said or tried to say? Good try. So I said hello and welcome to everyone. It was not the best, but it was my best. Okay, just give me a moment. It's been one of those mornings. Started really early on this and still we had problems, so we will get there. Okay. In New Zealand, we proudly call ourselves Kiwis. The animal we have chosen is not fierce like the British lion, and he's not brave like the Russian bear. He's not fast like the South African springbok, and he's not a good boxer like the Australian kangaroo. You know what? The Kiwi is not even beautiful like the Indian peacock. He is just plain brown with short stocky legs and a very long beak. And so I was wondering, why would we as New Zealanders want to name ourselves after such a seemingly boring brown bird? That's right, you're absolutely right. There's so much more to it. It's all about the Kiwi's character. And I'm going to tell you the story of how the Kiwi became the kindest, bravest bird in all of Tane's forest. This is the story, changed a little bit, but nevertheless, this is the story of how the Kiwi lost his wings and much more besides. Long, long ago, before any humans lived in New Zealand, before it was called New Zealand or even called Aotearoa, the Kiwi was a very different bird. For starters, it could fly. How it could fly. And it was colourful, the most colourful, beautiful bird ever seen. There was nothing the Kiwi loved more than to swoop and dive over the lush green forests that belonged to the ancient guardian, the kaitiaki, named Tane Mahuta, the mighty Tane, the protector of the forest. Now Tane, he loved the forest and loved the birds that lived in it, and the birds loved their forest too. They loved it so much they sang beautiful songs about it all day long, from morning till night. Now Tane, he was the kaitiaki of the forest, and he loved it and he looked after it like his child. But one terrible summer, there was a great plague of insects, and the forest floor was covered with crawling, creeping things. There were beetles and bugs, worms and centipedes, and they attacked Tane's trees, eating the bark and the leaves and even the roots, until soon the forest was no longer green. It had become a feverish, sickly yellow. Tane was horrified, and he quickly called all the birds urgently to come and help. He said to them, "Only you can save our forest from this deadly plague of creeping, crawling, biting insects." "How can we help? We're only birds," the birds replied. "Well, some of you must come down from the treetops where the sun shines on you. You must leave the light and come down and live in the gloom of the forest floor. Instead of eating sweet nectar from flowers, you must come down and eat these creeping, crawling, biting bugs that are killing our forest. Which of you will do this for me and for our forest? And there was silence. Not a single bird answered Tane. So one by one, Tane asked the birds, Cuckoo, will you? But Cuckoo said she was busy building her nest. Mawpork, Ururu, will you? But Mawpork, Ururu said she loved the light and the forest floor would be too dark for her eyes. Tui said he was afraid of the enemies he might meet on the forest floor, and even Pukeko said no, because the forest floor was too damp and cold for his feet. So Tane turned to Kiwi. Kiwi, who lived high in the branches of the tallest trees. Kiwi, will you do this thing for me? He asked. And because Kiwi was kind and loved the great forest more than he loved his life among the beautiful treetops, Kiwi said yes. Then Tane said, if you come down to the forest floor, you must lose your bright feathers, your bright colours, and you must become the colour of shadows so that insects will not notice you. You must lose your beautiful, magnificent wings and those amazing tail feathers, for they will get in the way on the forest floor. And your slim legs must grow thick and strong so you can run quickly and dig deeply to root out all those hiding, biting, creeping, crawling bugs. Knowing all these things, Kiwi, will you still come down to the forest floor and live there forever? And Kiwi bowed his head and answered, I will, Tane, I will. Then Tane turned to the other birds. Of all the birds, only Kiwi is not selfish. Only Kiwi is kind. You others haven't thought of the forest, nor of the other birds, only of yourselves. So because of your selfish ways, there are consequences. Cuckoo, you were busy building a nest. Well, now you will always lay your eggs in the nests of other birds, and they will scorn you for this. Ruru, you love the light, so from now on you can live in the deepest, darkest parts of the forest, and you will only fly in the black of night. And Tui, you are a coward, too afraid to come and live on the ground, so you will wear at your throat the mark of a coward, the white feather. And Pukeko, you didn't want to get your feet wet, so from now on you will live in the dampness of swamps and spend your days far from the birds of the bush. But Kiwi, brave, kind Kiwi, though I take away your bright feathers, your slim legs and beautiful wings, your kindness will never be forgotten. In times to come, you will be the symbol of this land, and people who come and live here will be proud to be called by your name. And the birds, the others that wouldn't help me, well, there are consequences for you too. No more will you sing. Then Tane looked up and he saw Koromiko, the bellbird, and she had tears in her eyes. And because he still loved the birds, he said, Koromiko, you have touched my heart. I know it's important to you to sing, so I will soften. You will not sing all day as before, but you can sing at dawn and at dusk each day. And when you do, remember the importance of kindness. Then Tane was gone, and so were all the birds. Ruru to the deep dark forest, Pukeko to the damp swamp, and Pipiwhāroa to search for someone else's nest to lay her eggs in. And kind Kiwi found himself on the ground, bright feathers gone, strong wings gone, and stout legs instead of slim. But he could scratch through the forest litter, and he had a long beak to probe for worms and grubs, and a great sense of smell and awesome hearing to help him do his important work. And so from that day to this, the birds haven't changed. Tui's still got the white feathers at his throat. Pukeko still lives in the swamp. And kind Kiwi lives on the ground, keeping it clear of creeping, crawling, biting things. And so it has been for many thousands of years, and so it shall remain, because Tane himself ordered it. And you and I, we will call ourselves Kiwis, just as Tane said we would. And in calling ourselves Kiwis, we are called to be kind Kiwis, because that's who we are and who we need to be. Thank you all.
Tahirua. Kevin is in room 22 and has been learning the piano for 6 years. He would like to play the song called Summer for You now.
Tahirua. Miss Nami, could you please introduce us to our new friends who have joined our school this term?
Awesome, we can definitely do that. Can I have Jacob from room 3 with his buddy Jared, Mason from room 3 with his buddy Arian. Miss Stokes is going to come up with Naho, Shine, Elizabeth and Linnea. We have Kotura come up to introduce Matanafu. Ethan from room 24, Warren from Nasa from room 25, Ezekiel from room 13 with Grace, and Mrs. Hill with Aaron, Valley, and Renat, please. Okay, lots of people here.
My name's Aaron, Renat. Sorry. Just come around the back.
Let's start with...
Come here, Aaron. Thank you. Renat.
Let's start with Ethan. he's your neighbour, right? Yeah. And he's his neighbour, so that's why he's introducing him. Welcome to our school. I hope you're very, very happy here. Awesome. Look, and we call him laughing for short sometimes, eh? Awesome. Right, what have we got here? Room 3. Welcome, Mason. Welcome, Jacob. And then, down here, Miss Noakes, who have you got?
Well, we've got lots and lots of new children in room 28 and room 29. We've got Elizabeth here, we've got Naho, we've got Shine, and we've got Malaya, and of course, Lafu. And we've got lots of teachers in room 28 and room 29, and all of these children have got off to such a good start at school. We're really proud of them.
This is my nephew, Ezekiel.
Welcome to well done. And Mrs. Hill's got 3 children as well.
In room 1 we have Aaron, Manat, and Barney who's starting with us this week.
Let's give all our new people a silent applause to welcome you. Well done, guys. You can go and sit down again now. I hope you're all very happy here.
Tahirua. Room 10 would now like to sign 2 songs for you in New Zealand Sign Language.
Room 10 will now sing Aotearoa.
Did you guys notice the sign for the tui? It just connected with the story before. Thank you.
Through the land. now perform a short play using all of our 3 official languages. Please enjoy.
Today we will be using all of these 3 special languages. We hope to teach you some too.
Here's a little play with our class practicing to use all 3 languages.
Hello class, kia ora.
Good morning.
How are you? Kaiten pehea koutou.
I'm good.
I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I'm angry. Okay, class, just do the days of the week. Nava o te wiki. Ano again.
Alright, now let's practice asking for things in the classroom. Almighty cookie cookie. Almighty Almighty dear. Almighty pen. Now let's practice our commands. Etu stand. Tari tari wait. Tari might come here. Catchy stop. Twitter, just be quiet. Etu enamose.
Let's wish everyone a good day. Kia pai soba.
Tahirua. Messiah, could you please share with us about the heart of our school, the library, the Whare Puka Puka?
I can. Beautiful sitting up. Show me, juniors, your impressive sitting up. Good job. All right, the heart of our school, the library, the Whare Puka Puka. A couple of things. The library has been left a little bit untidy after some classes, so I am wanting you guys, because it's all of our library, it's not just my library or the teacher's library, it belongs to you guys. So I want to make sure that all of the shelves are really tidy when you leave, because it's part of your responsibility as well. It's us being kaitiaki looking after our library. So teachers, could you also just at the end of every library session make sure that all those shelves are really tidy. In the chapter books, for example, me and Mrs. Grant would like all of the books right up by the edge of the shelf, because if they're pushed back, it's really hard to see them. So the top shelf is the one that we're looking for. The bottom shelf, we say, no thanks. Don't push all those books back. We want them all forward. Book battle will be happening at the end of this term, so that's only for the year 5 and 6 students. If you love books and you love quizzes and you've read heaps of books, I would like you to come see me in the library today, and you can sign up, but you need to be available for practices every week, so you can come to a practice either on a Tuesday or a Thursday, but if you want to be part of that, it's pretty cool. And if we go on, if the teams win, then we get a whole lot of books for the school, and you get some books for you to take home as well. So if you love reading and you love quizzes, come and see me in the library at lunchtime. Only year 5 and 6s, sorry, but that's a pretty cool competition. I'm looking for a new display, and I want you to be giving recommendations to each other. So if you have some really cool books that you would think other students should read, I want you to come and see me in the library on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Go and find the book and say, Miss I, can I have a picture of this book? Other children should read this because this book is really amazing. So you can come into the library, I'll take a photo of you and I'll stick that up on the wall so that we can all share what we're reading. And that is everything. Kia ora, thank you.
Tahilua. Thanks for being a great audience. Please join us in signing and singing the Waita No Mai Haramai one more time.
So everyone joining in?
Everyone joining in.
Teachers, you can take your classes.